Okay, good morning to everyone. Let's start. Let's now start. Alas 10 manin. Mabayang ata. Awan naka-live, awan naka-voice over nga. Any question? Pre-present. Ay, may light, tag-present ka. Kanta ka pa yung ano. Tatlatan. Owen. Tapos i-postpone mo na awam mo ti planning ni. Start on. Morning to everybody. It is a glad welcome for this morning. Let us pray.
Heavenly Father, as we gather today for our procurement activity, allow us to glorify you and give you thanks for the gift of life and wisdom. Thank you for allowing our partners in the construction industry to participate in this activity and giving us the opportunity to work with them. Send your Holy Spirit to guide us as we go on with this activity, removing all doubts and malice as we proceed to work for an orderly and successful procurement activity. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Will the backsec please do roll call for acknowledgement?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone, including our social media viewers and Zoom meeting participants. Today is October 25, and our business for today is the Previd Conference for the 10 consulting services and 4 civil works funded under FY 2024. We have with us the following present from the back members: Ferdinand Jingo Eating, Eileen Domingo, Alan Camello, Maylite Eliazar, Ruben Aldana, and Noemi Garingan. From the back secretariat, Brenda Carbonel, Larry Ramel, and Ray Augustine. From the technical working group, Richel Anyuhenyo, Efren Garingan, Christian Mariano, and Madonna Bagabay. From the back members, Mr. Russell Lozano, and from the back secretariat, Mr. Joel Tindungan. From our observers and visitors, we have invited the President of the National Constructors Association of the Philippines, Dato Farouk Macarambon, the President of PAI's Quirino Chapter, Engineer Danilo Castillo, and the President of the Center for National Budget Legislation, Mr. Joseph Pranola. For the record, Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We are here today for the Previd conference to discuss to us the brief presentation and explanation of the basic contract data, requirements of bidding documents, documents to be submitted by the bidder, the technical proposal and financial proposal, and the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, and other matters. So to start with, let's start the presentation.
Once again, good morning. Today is October 25, 2023, and we are here to conduct private conference to discuss pertinent details for the procurement of 4 civil works projects and 10 consulting services funded under FY 2024. First civil work project is BIP access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings facilities. Construction of Dingasan Road, Barangay Dingasan, Cabarroguis, Quirino. Contract ID 24BK006. Scope of works, construction of concrete road. Approved budget for the contract 4,950,000 pesos. Project duration 53 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 5,000 pesos. Pickup license category CND size range small B. Second project is BIP, construction of Nagabgaban Road, Barangay Nagabgaban, Aglipay, Quirino. Contract ID 24BK0007. Scope of works, construction of concrete road. Approved budget for the contract 4,950,000 pesos. Project duration 59 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 5,000 pesos. Pickup license category CND size range small B. Third project is BIP, construction of Macate Road, Barangay Macate, Diffun, Quirino. Contract ID 24BK0008. Scope of works, construction of concrete road. Approved budget for the contract 4,950,000 pesos. Project duration 64 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 5,000 pesos. Pickup license category CND size range small B. Fourth project is BIP construction of Del Pilar Road, Barangay Del Pilar, Cabarroguis, Quirino. Contract ID 24BK0009. Scope of works construction of concrete road. Approved budget for the contract 4,950,000 pesos. Contract duration 78 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 5,000 pesos. Pickup license category CND size range small B. First, consulting services is soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction maintenance of flood mitigation structures and drainage systems, construction of San Francisco CIS gabion protection works along Main Canal, San Francisco, Aglipay, Quirino. Contract ID 24CSBK01. Evaluation procedure to be used QCBE. Approved budget for the contract 158,713 pesos and 34 centavos. Project duration 35 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 500 pesos. Passing score for the technical evaluation 80 points. Second project is soil testing, exploration of proposed flood management program, construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Cagayan River flood control, Manglad section, Manglad, Madela, Quirino. Contract ID 24CSBK02. Evaluation procedure to be used, QCBE. Approved budget for the contract, 158,713 pesos and 34 centavos. Project duration, 35 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 500 pesos. Passing score for the technical evaluation, 80 points. Third project is soil testing, exploration of proposed flood management program, construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Cagayan River flood control, Lusud section, Lusud, Madela, Quirino. Contract ID 24CSBK03. Evaluation procedure to be used, QCBE. Approved budget for the contract, 158,713 pesos and 34 centavos. Project duration, 35 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 500 pesos. Passing score for the technical evaluation, 80 points. Fourth project is soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program. Construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers. Construction of Adalam River flood control. Upstream, the Silwad section, Palasyan, Aglipay, Quirino. Contract ID 24 CSB K04. Evaluation procedure to be used, QCBE. Approved budget for the contract, 158,713 pesos and 34 centavos. Project duration, 35 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 500 pesos. Passing score for the technical evaluation, 80 points. Fifth project is soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program. Construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers. Construction of Adalam River flood control downstream, Pinaripad Sur, Aglipay, Quirino. Contract ID 24 CSBK05. Evaluation procedure to be used, QCBE. Approved budget for the contract, 158,713 pesos and 34 centavos. Project duration, 35 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 5,000 pesos. Passing score for the technical evaluation, 80 points. Sixth project is soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program. Construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers. Construction of Adalam River flood control downstream, the Silwad section, Palasyan, Aglipay, Quirino. Contract ID 24 CSBK06. Evaluation procedure to be used, QCBE. Approved budget for the contract, 158,713 pesos and 34 centavos. Project duration, 35 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 500 pesos. Passing score for the technical evaluation, 80 points. Seventh project is soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program. Construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers. Construction along Cagayan River, San Pedro River, San Pedro Madela, Quirino. Contract ID 24 CSBK07. Evaluation procedure to be used, QCBE. Approved budget for the contract, 158,713 pesos and 34 centavos. Project duration, 35 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 500 pesos. Passing score for the technical evaluation, 80 points. Eighth project, soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program. Construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers. Construction along Cagayan River, Sangbay River, Sangbay, Madela, Quirino. Contract ID 24 CSBK08. Evaluation procedure to be used, QCBE. Approved budget for the contract, 158,713 pesos and 34 centavos. Project duration, 35 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 500 pesos. Passing score for the technical evaluation, 80 points. Next project is soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program. Construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers. Construction along Cagayan River, Pongo, Nagtipunan, Quirino. Contract ID 24 CSBK09. Evaluation procedure to be used, QCBE. Approved budget for the contract, 158,713 pesos and 34 centavos. Project duration, 35 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 500 pesos. Passing score for the technical evaluation, 80 points. Last project is soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Nalungtutan River control downstream along Cagayan River, San Dionisio to Nagabgaban, Quirino. Contract ID 24 CSB K10. Valuation procedure to be used QCBE. Approved budget for the contract 158,713 pesos and 34 centavos. Project duration 35 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 500 pesos. Passing score for the technical evaluation 80 points. This private conference is to discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial component of the contract to be bid, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the private conference. It is conducted not earlier than 7 calendar days from the posting of invitation to bid and at least 12 calendar days before the deadline of submission of bids. A supplemental or bid bulletin is issued to answer questions or requests for clarifications or interpretation, and upon BAC's initiative to clarify or modify any provisions of the bidding documents. It is posted in the PhilJEPs and DPWH websites and at our bulletin board at least 7 calendar days before the deadline of bid submission. It is the duty of the prospective bidders to always check the websites for any issued bulletins. In the receipt and opening of bids, bids submitted should be on the date, time, and either at its physical address or through online submission specified in the advertisement through a single stage two envelope system. Bid should be valid for a period not exceeding 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. The first envelope must contain the eligibility requirements and the technical component, and the second envelope must contain the financial component. In the sealing and marking of bids, enclose the original eligibility and technical documents in one sealed envelope marked original technical component, and the other original financial component in another sealed envelope marked original financial component. Same will be done with the copies, copy number 1 and copy number 2. Seal both in an outer envelope marked original bid. The original technical and financial envelopes and the copy envelope shall be contained in one main envelope. The original and copies shall be typed or written in ink and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative. All envelopes shall have the required information, the name of the contract to be bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient or the procuring entity, and a warning: do not open before the specified time and date. Same will be done with electronically submitted bids. Bids must be encrypted and password protected. The electronic submission and receipt of bids is governed by GPPB Resolution Number 9, Series of 2020. It uses a two-factor security procedure consisting of an archive format compression and password protection to ensure the security, integrity, and confidentiality of the bids submitted. It allows to a password-protected bidding documents on opening date and time. The password for accessing the file will be disclosed by the bidder only during the actual opening, which may be done in person or face-to-face through video conferencing, webcasting, or similar technology. It is capable of generating an audit trail of transactions to ensure the security, integrity, and authenticity of bid submissions. In the sealing and marking of bids, unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes will be rejected, while improperly sealed and marked bid envelopes will be accepted. Same will be done for electronically submitted bids, not compressed and password protected will be rejected, while improperly compressed and password protected will be accepted, provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The bank shall assume no responsibility for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or for its premature opening. Bids submitted after the deadline shall not be accepted. For bids submitted electronically, the Box Secretariat shall generate a bid receipt page for the official time of submission, which can be saved or printed by the bidder upon receipt of the first and the second envelope. All bids may be modified before the deadline of submission of bids. A letter of withdrawal must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. A withdrawing bidder is not allowed to submit another bid. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and the expiration of bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. In case the submitted bids cannot be opened as scheduled due to justifiable reasons, the bank shall take custody of the said bids and reschedule the opening on the next working day or at the soonest possible time through the issuance of a notice of postponement to be posted in the PhilJEP's website and at the DPWH website. In the opening and preliminary examination of bids, the bank shall open the bids in public immediately after the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. In the opening of the first envelope, checking the presence or absence of the submitted documents against a checklist of required documents using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion. In the opening of the second envelopes, only second envelopes of bidders whose first envelope was rated pass will be opened. Bids with missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient and or bid price exceeding the ABC shall be rated failed. The same will be applied for an electronic copy that cannot be opened or is corrupted shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. Only bidders whose both first and second envelopes were rated pass will be ranked. In the opening and evaluation of the first envelope, it must contain the eligibility requirements such as the legal, financial, and technical, its bid security, the technical specifications, and the omnibus sign-off statement. For the Class A documents under legal, must be the PhilJEP Certificate of Registration certificate from SEC, DTI, or CDA, mayor or business permit, and the tax clearance. For the technical, the statement of all ongoing contracts and the statement of single largest completed contract. And for the financial, the net financial contracting capacity or its committed line of credit and the audited financial statement is stamp received by the BIR. Under the Class B document is a valid pickup license or special pickup license for GB, and a registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid should be valid at the time of the deadline for the submission and the opening of bids. For the PhilJEP Certificate of Registration and Membership, all bidders shall upload and maintain in PhilJEP's current and updated file of the following Class A eligibility documents under Section 23.1A and 24.1A, such as the registration certificate, the mayor or the business permit, the tax clearance, pickup license and registration, and the audited financial statement. For the business or the mayor's permit, a recently expired business or mayor's permit shall be accepted together with the official receipt as proof that the bidder has applied for renewal within the period prescribed by the concerned LGU. However, the renewed permit shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34.2 of the 2016 IRR of RA 9184. For the tax clearance, submission of BIR receipt for renewal of tax clearance will not suffice in lieu of a valid tax clearance requirement since substitution is not allowed under Section 34.2 of the IRR of RA 9184. Submission of provisionary tax clearance issued by the BRR for bidding purposes is not acceptable form of tax clearance per GPPB Resolution Number 1, Series of 2014. For the single largest calculated contract, the SLCC completed shall be similar to the contract to be bid or has the same major categories of work. The SLCC value should be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid upon adjustment to current prices using the PSA consumer price indices. Contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience on the contract may participate if the cost of the contract to bid is not more than the allowable range of contract cost of their registration.
For the statement of all ongoing contracts, statement of the bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. For the pickup license, temporary pickup license shall not be accepted as an eligibility or documentary requirement in lieu of a valid pickup license. For the audited financial statement showing, among others, the bidder's total and current assets and liabilities is then perceived by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. For the net financial contracting capacity, then FCC value should be at least equal to the ABC to be bid. It is computed as the current assets minus the current liabilities multiplied by the factor K minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the contract to be bid. The constant factor K is set at 15 regardless of contract duration. For the eligibility requirements under Class D is the requirement for the joint ventures. A valid pickup license or special pickup license for JV and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid should be valid at the time of the deadline for the submission and receipt of bid. All co-venturers shall submit their legal documents, while any of the co-venturers shall submit technical and financial documents. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit the PhilJEP certificate of registration in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of the 2016 IRR of RA 9184. For the bid security, bidders must submit bid security to guarantee that the successful bidder shall within 10 calendar days from the receipt of the notice of award enter into contract with the procuring entity and furnish the performance security required. Only one form of bid security among the allowed forms is required to be submitted by the participating bidders. May it be cash or cashier's check, bank guarantee, draft or irrevocable letter of credit, or a surety bond callable upon demand, accompanied by certification from the Insurance Commission, or the bid securing declaration. For the project requirements, it must contain the following: the organizational chart for the contract to be bid, the list of contractors' personnel, such as the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and the foreman, to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data, and the list of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreement, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. For the revised Omnibus Sworn Statement form, Statement number 3 was revised and the addition of Statement number 10, which states that in case advance payment was made or given, failure to perform or deliver any of the obligations and undertakings in the contract shall be sufficient ground to constitute criminal liability for swindling or the commission of fraud with unfaithfulness or abuse of confidence through misappropriating or converting any payment received by a person or entity under an obligation involving the duty to deliver certain goods or services to the prejudice of the public and the government of the Philippines pursuant to Article 315 of Act Number 3815, Series of 1930 as amended, or the revised Penal Code. For the contents of the second envelope, first is the financial bid form, including bid prices and bill of quantities, as well as applicable price schedules and other documents required in the bidding documents. In the detailed evaluation of bids, its purpose is to determine the lowest calculated bid by establishing correct calculated prices of bids and ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. A non-discretionary criterion shall be used, which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. Results shall be contained in the abstract of bids as calculated. Placing no price is considered as non-responsive, while specifying a zero or dash means it is offered for free. And in case of discrepancies, bid price in figures versus bid price in words, bid price in words shall prevail. The total price per item versus unit price for the item multiplied by its quantity, the latter shall prevail. The stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Unit cost and the detailed estimate versus unit cost and the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. No contract rule, which means prohibition on communication with bidders from bid evaluation until award of the contract. In the conduct of post-qualification, its purpose is to determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies with and is responsive to all requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents to be declared the lowest calculated and responsive bid. A non-discretionary pass or fail criterion shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid. For the award of the contract shall be awarded to the bidder with the lowest calculated responsive bid at its submitted price or total calculated bid price, whichever is lower. The BAC shall notify all other bidders of its recommendation to hope of award of contract to LCRB within 3 calendar days from the issuance of the resolution recommending award. The hope shall have at most 15 calendar days to decide whether or not to approve or disapprove said recommendation.
For consulting services, same procedure will be done. Only the financial envelope of bidders who were rated pass in their technical evaluation will be opened. For the contents of the technical and financial proposals, for the first envelope or the technical proposal, it must contain the technical proposal submission form, bid security, the description of organization and outline of recent experience, the list of ongoing and completed projects under government or private contracts, the comments and suggestions on the terms of reference, the approach, work plan, and schedule, organizational chart of the key and support staff indicating their tasks, the list of key personnel with their curriculum vitae, the time schedule, the work plan, and the omnibus sworn statement. For the financial proposal, must contain the financial proposal submission form, the summary of cost, the breakdown of price per activity, the breakdown of remuneration per activity, reimbursable per activity, and other items as may be required in the bidding documents. Interested bidders may obtain further information from the Procurement Unit, DPWH, Quirino District Engineering Office, and inspect the bidding documents during weekdays from October 13 to November 7. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from October 13 at our office upon payment of an applicable fee. Deadline for the submission for the 10 consulting services, November 6, 2023, not later than 10 a.m. For the 4 civil works is on November 7, 2023, not later than 10 a.m. Number of bid proposals to be submitted for the consulting services, 1 original and 1 duplicate copy. For the civil works, 1 original and 2 duplicate copies. For the place of submission of bids for manual submission at Procurement Unit, DPWH, Quirino District Engineering Office, Cabarroguis, Quirino, and for electronic submission at electronicbids_Quirino at dpwh.gov.ph. For further information, please refer to Engineer Brenda B. Carbonell, Officer in Charge, Procurement Unit, with email address at carbonell.brenda@dpwh.gov.ph. Thank you.
our first project for the roads. Here are the for first project basic infrastructure program BIP. Construction of Dingasan Road, Barangay Dingasan, Cabarroguis, Quirino. And for the station limits from 487 meters with a project duration of 53 calendar days. Here is the photos, beginning of the project, end of project. For the items and quantities involved, for Part A, provision of progress photographs, 1.77 miles. Part B, project billboard, signboard for each. Occupational safety and health program, lump sum. The materials involved, safety helmet, safety shoes, safety vest, working gloves, face mask, rubber boots, eye goggles, and raincoats. For traffic management, lump sum. Mobilization, demobilization, lump sum. For the traffic management, for the materials to be used, it is advisable to use the retro-reflective materials. For Part C, surplus common excavation, 2,617 cubic meter. For structure excavation, hard rock, 73 cubic meter. Pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, 48.28 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 8 cubic meter. Subgrade preparation, common material, 3,462.57 square meter. Part D, aggregate sub-base course, 497 cubic meter. For Part E, Portland cement concrete pavement under enforced, 0.23 meters thick at 14 days, 2,435 square meters. The cement to be used is a Portland cement type 1P for the PCCP. For Part G, pipe culvert 610 diameter, class 4 RCBC, 32 linear meter, and stone masonry of 35 cubic meters. That's all for the items for Dingasan.
Are there any question? Let's
And
proceed.
for our next project, also a BIP, construction of Nagabgaban Road, Barangay Nagabgaban, Aglipay, Quirino, with a length of 400 meters, 59 calendar days. Photos taken at the site, beginning of the project, end of project. And for items and quantities involves, for Part A, provision of progress photographs, 1.97 months. Part B, project billboard, signboard, for each. Occupational safety and health programs. For the materials, safety helmets, safety shoes, safety vests, working gloves, face masks, rubber boots, eye goggles, and raincoats. Traffic management, lump sum. Mobilization, demobilization, lump sum. Sa traffic management, materials to be used are retro-reflective, especially for the signages. For Part C, surplus common excavation, 1,520 cubic meter. Surplus lax excavation, soft, 196 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 78 cubic meter. Subgrade preparation, common material, 2,924 square meter. Part D, aggregate sub-base course, 408 cubic meter. For Part E, Portland cement concrete pavement, unreinforced 0.23 meters thick at 14 days, 2,000 square meter. The cement to be used is Portland cement type 1P for the PCCP. For Part G, stone masonry of 246 cubic meter. These are all the items involved in project of Nagabgaban.
Are there any questions concerning that project? Okay, let's proceed.
For our next projects, also a BIP, construction of Macate Road, Barangay Macate, Diffun, Quirino, with a total length of 259.5 meters, 64 calendar days. Photos taken at the site, the start of the project, and end of the project. For items and quantities involved, for Part A, provision of progress photographs, 2.13 months. For Part B, project billboard signboard for each. Occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. For materials, safety helmet, safety shoes, safety vest, working gloves, face mask, rubber boots, eye goggles, and raincoats. Traffic management, lump sum, demobilization, lump sum. Also for traffic management, use retro-reflective material for the signages. For Part C, surplus common excavation, 758 cubic meter. And pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, 37.08 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 145 cubic meter. And subgrade preparation, common material, 1,868.4 square meter. For Part D, aggregate subbase course, 457 cubic meter. For Part E, surface course, Portland cement concrete pavement, unreinforced, 0.23 meters thick at 14 days, 1,297.5 square meter. For the type of cement to be used is Portland cement type 1P for the PCCP. For Part G, pipe culvert, 610 diameter, class 4 RCPC, 16 linear meter. And pipe culverts of 910 diameter, class 4 RCPC, 3 linear meter. And we have a line canal of stone masonry, 33 cubic meter. And for the stone masonry of slope protection, 283 cubic meter. This is all the items and quantities involved in the project of Macate.
Next.
For the last project for the roads, it's also a BIP, construction of Del Pilar Road, Barangay Del Pilar, Cabarroguis, Quirino, with a length of 352.9 meters, 78 calendar days. Photos taken at the site, the beginning of the project, and end of the project. For the items and quantities involved, for Part A, provision of progress photographs, 2.6 months. Part B, project billboard, signboard for each. Occupational safety and health program, lump sum. The materials are safety helmet, safety shoes, safety vest, working gloves, face mask, rubber boots, eye goggles, and raincoats. For the traffic management, lump sum, mobilization, demobilization, lump sum. For the traffic management, use retro-reflective materials for the signages. For part C, surplus common excavation, 563 cubic meter. Pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, 38 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 77 cubic meter. And subgrade preparation, common material, 2,579.7 square meter. Part D, aggregate surface course, 360 cubic meter. And Part E, Portland cement concrete pavement, unreinforced, 0.23 meters thick at 14 days, 1,664.5 square meter. Use Portland cement type 1P for the PCCP. For Part G, pipe culvert, 610 diameter, class 4 RCPC, 24 linear meter. And stone masonry for the cell protection, 410 cubic meters. These are all the items and quantities involved for project of Del Pilar.
John.
Good morning. I want to discuss the consultancy services for subsurface exploration for flood control project. First is the 24 CSBK01 soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation structure and drain system, construction of San Francisco CAS Gabion protection works along main canal San Francisco Aglipay Quirino with appropriation of 158,713.34. Number 2 is the CSBK 02 soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Cagayan River flood control, Manglad section, Manglad Madela Quirino with appropriation of 156,713.34. Number 3, 24 CSBK 03, soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Cagayan River flood control, Lusod section, Lusod Madela Quirino with appropriation of 158,713.34. Number 4 is 24 CSBK 04, soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Adalam River flood control upstream, Disilwad section, Palasian, Aglipay, Quirino with appropriation of 158,713.34. Number 5 is 24 CSBK 05, soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Adalam River flood control, downstream, Penaripad Sur section, Penaripad Sur, Aglipay, Quirino with appropriation of 158,713.34. Number 6 is soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Adalam River flood control, downstream, Disilwad section, Palasian, Aglipay, Quirino with appropriation of 158,713.34. Number 7 is 24 CSBK 07, soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction along Cagayan River, San Pedro River, San Pedro, Madela, Quirino, with appropriation 158,713.34. Number 8824 CSBK 08, soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basin, principal rivers, construction along Cagayan River, Sangbay River, Sangbay, Madela, Quirino, with appropriation of 158,713.34. Number 9 is soil testing exploration, CS 24 CSBK 09, soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction along Cagayan River, Pongo River, Pongo, Nagtipunan, Quirino, with appropriation of 158,713.34. Number 10 is 24 CSBK 010, soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Nalungtutan River control downstream along Cagayan River, San Dionisio to Nagtipunan, Quirino, with appropriation of 158,713.34. I will discuss the one typical, which is the same for the term of reference for all the flood control project. Number 1, project description and purpose. Project name, soil testing exploration of proposed flood management program, construction, maintenance, flood mitigation structure and drainage system, construction of San Francisco CS Gabion, protection works along main canal, Aglipay, Quirino. Location, San Francisco, Aglipay, Quirino. Boreholes, 3 boreholes with a minimum depth of 6 meter. Duration, 35 calendar days. Next. Number 2, scope of work. The consultant shall provide all labor, instrument, equipment, materials, supplies, vehicles, banghouses, and others necessary to perform satisfactorily the subsurface exploration herein required. A. Field works, laboratory testing, soil investigation and preparation of report, and D. Geotechnical evaluation report. Number 3, detailed exploration required specification. Field works, borehole location. The geotechnical investigation shall also include a geotechnical assessment, the site with at least 3 borehole at the location of proposed project. Additional boreholes shall be drilled when there is a significant difference between adjacent boreholes in areas where subsurface condition is complex or variable. This shall be made upon the instruction of the geotechnical engineer. Borehole depth. If the foundation type has not been specified, boring shall be carried out to a minimum depth of 6 meter in ordinary soil or 3 meter into sound rock if rock is encountered above the depth. In case bearing capacity is not encountered beyond 6 meter, boring shall be continued until preferred layers is countered and upon the instruction of the geotechnical engineer. Number 3, procedure. Letter A. Deep drilling with standard penetration test shall be conducted inside the perimeter of the proposed project. Minimum depth shall be determined based on the confirmation of hard strata or bedrock. Drilling can be stopped after 3 meters minimum penetration into hard strata or bedrock. B. The consultant shall perform analysis and testing on disturbed and undisturbed samples. This analysis and testing shall be performed in accordance with AAS2 and ASTM standard. C. The soil samples for foundation design shall be tested for the determination of the main characteristics, example, grain size distribution and classification, moisture content, Atterberg limits, and others. Letter D. Submit design recommendation, foundation, condition scheme, bearing capacity and settlement, groundwater table, hydraulical influences, excavation stability, seismic design consideration, and liquefaction potential. Letter E. Geotechnical structure, especially active faults which might be transverse the area, should be delineated and potential mass movement areas should be identified. Analysis for liquefaction potentials during earthquake, and consolidation due to soft grounds should be included. Number 4, handling and core samples. The contractor shall provide all the materials, equipment, and labor necessary for preserving the samples. Letter B, laboratory testing. The preparation of samples for testing shall be made in accordance with the ASTO. The following tests shall be made for samples obtaining from boring and drilling. 1. Standard penetration test. 2. Moisture density rotation. 3. Bearing capacity test. 4. Shape analysis. 5. Liquid limit. 6. Soil classification. Next. Key personnel's detailed tasks, responsibilities, and qualification. For the team leader, must have at least 10 years experience in carrying out geotechnical, soil investigation, and survey test boring, samples analysis, or similar and or related projects. Must be a registered civil engineer, must have bachelor's degree in civil engineering, MS or doctorate degree is an advantage. For laboratory technician, must have at least 5 years experience in carrying out sampling and analysis for geotechnical soil investigation and surveys, test boring. Must be a registered civil engineer, must have bachelor's degree in civil engineering, MS or bachelor's degree or doctorate degree is an advantage. Detailed tasks and responsibilities of key personnel, a team leader. Overall guidance, direction, supervision, and coordination of team of members of the team. Number 2, collection and evaluation of geological information on the project sites. Number 3, study and determination of items and method of soil investigation and laboratory tests. Number 4, perform necessary subsoil investigation on representative section of the road with samples to be taken at suitable intervals. Number 5, investigate the physical project of materials to facilitate the design of structures. For laboratory technician, investigate the physical properties of material to facilitate the design of structures. Number 2, assist the team leader in the collection of desired data information in carrying out detailed soil investigations. Letter D, reports and deliverables. The consultant shall prepare the following reports and deliverables. Inception report. The consultant shall require to submit 1 week after commencement of the services. It shall outline a detailed work program and briefly describe the methodology and project schedule to meet the term of reference. The report shall include the initial findings as well as preliminary layout of the form used of various investigation and calculation. Inception report shall be submitted in softbound copy with the title of the report written at the spine. Number 2, final report. The consultant is required to submit the final report 35 calendar days from commencement of the work in 4 bound copies to the DPWH Quirino District Engineering Office, Cabarroguis, Quirino. Other data to be submitted, A, boring logs, and B, photographs. Number 4, payment. There should be no advance payment for consultancy. The final payment shall be made only after the final report and a statement identified as such shall have been submitted by the consultant and approved as satisfactorily by the procuring entity. Number 5, work schedule. The consultant contract periods for undertaking the subsurface exploration works, including laboratory tests, shall 35 calendar days, and the consultant shall commence work after receipt of notice to proceed. That's all. Thank you.
Geotag pictures, sir. Any ways forward? Any other matters regarding the previously presented uh, presentation? Any question, madam? So there is no question. Any announcement from the back?
For the information of everyone, on October 31, 2023, 9 a.m., we have a scheduled pre-bid conference for 3 civil works and opening of bids for 7 civil works. That's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe. Thank you for coming. This quorum is now adjourned.